On today's Toy Box Tuesday, we're going to continue our look at Funko's Rick and Morty's articulated figure series in the Snowball Build-A-Figure line. This time around, we're going to take a look at Morty. Welcome back. Yes, quite a mouthful, I know. But, yes, continuing on with our looks at all these Rick and Morty articulated figures. Not going to go too much into it, as always. Taking a look at the package here. Very nice, as you can see. Nice little bubble window there of Morty Smith with Snowball's, I believe, right arm and I believe a gun there. Pretty cool. And of course, background there. Typical Rick and Morty fashion, portal with Rick and Morty and a bunch of cats there to layer the absurdity. And then, as always, typical backside of the box here, and as you can see all the figures in the wave. No read-up, of course, but you also get Rick, Morty, Mr. Meeseeks, Mr. Poopy Butthole, Bird Person, and all four, well, yeah, 5 of those figures make up the Build-A-Figure Snowball in the mech suit from the Lawnmower Man parody episode. So pretty cool. So again, quick, easy, fast. So without further ado, let's actually take a look at the figures. So as always, guys, I'm just going to fade out here and we'll eventually take a look at Morty here. So stay tuned. And here is Morty out of his packaging. Unfortunately, if you guys cannot see, I'll just zoom in a bit. Morty, unfortunately, got a little bit of paint scraping and damage there, so that is quite unfortunate. Oh well. Sometimes these things happen. But with that being said, despite that unfortunate thing there, let's take a look at some of Morty's accessories. As you can probably already tell, I already got Morty displayed with his little laser gun here, and I must say, despite Morty having a bit of a flaw there, his laser gun looks pretty cool and nicely painted, I might add. So that's makes up for the flaw in the figure, so very happy about that. And of course, seeing how it's a Build-A-Figure piece, he does come with the arm of Snowball, the right arm, I believe, so that's pretty cool. No articulation, as I point out in previous videos, just a standard ball joint there, and just pop it in there to the figure, and it just moves up and down pretty much, so pretty cool. And of course, we're not going to be going too much into the, well, you know, look like all of his accessories on the figure. We're just going to continue our look at this Morty figure. Overall, he's pretty solid. I actually really like how they designed Morty here. I like his hair piece here, very accurate to the show. Just nice and just simple hairdo design. Pretty cool. As far as articulation, like all the Rick and Morty figures are in this Funko series, he goes bending out at the elbows there. He seems a bit more bulky compared to the, well, Rick Sanchez figure, which is kind of interesting, I might add, but that's alright. Doesn't feel as delicate as Rick there, so that's pretty cool. He does bend out at the arms there, so that's pretty cool. He does bend out at the elbows, as I pointed out before. Shoulders, I should say. He does do a slight bend in the elbows, so you can get some posability action there, like he's boxing or something. Can bend all the way down there, so that's pretty cool. He has a, well, actually he doesn't, that's shocking. He doesn't have any swivel in the waistline there. He does bend out at the leg, but unfortunately, with how his pants and waistline is designed, it doesn't go all the way out, so that's unfortunate. It just stays like that. It does bend at the knee, and there's a slight swivel at the foot. And of course, it's at the same side too, as you can see, so that's pretty cool. So standard articulation there. And he has a slight swivel in the head. No pin and saw, well, no ball joint, just a head piece that goes up and down, side to side, so that's pretty cool too. So yeah, not too bad. And of course, as I forgot to mention, well, probably previous mentioned, he does hold his gun quite well. So with that being said, what would I actually rate this figure, seeing how I just quickly gone through everything? All the same pieces as before. Honestly, I actually really like this Morty figure, surprisingly enough. Just like all the other figures in this wave, Funko has done a very good job in adapting the characters from the show into plastic toy form. I just like how this Morty figure looks. Unfortunately, the only downgrade to this Morty figure is that mine came a bit with flaws, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. I could always, find another replacement just to, get a nice proper one. But overall, I really like this Morty figure. He's simple. I like how they just kept it simple and just included just, some show accurate pieces. This gun looks like to be in the second season episode where Rick and Morty have all those imaginary friends and stuff in that show. I forget what episode it is, but you know what I mean. He pretty much uses that gun in that show. So the accurateness to detail for show pieces and accessories is quite astounding and quite nice to see and brought to life in these series of figures. So for that reason, with all of that said aside, I think I'll give this Morty a solid 8.5. Well, 8 out of 10. Mainly because of the flaw there with his paint and a bit of paint I noticed in there and the waistline in there. Unfortunately, there's a bit of a flaw on this figure, and I just noticed too. Bit of paint missing from his nose and his eye there, so quite unfortunate. Honestly, it's not a big huge deal. It's a little bit nitpicky, but overall really like this figure, very impressed with it, and overall this series of toys have been very impressive that Funko has been delivering us thus far, and I cannot wait to review the last two figures to make up the Build-A-Figure Snowball wave. Alright guys, so that is it for today's Toy Box Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, stay tuned for more toy reviews and anything geek on my channel. With Halloween approaching, I'm probably going to switch things up by doing some more horror-related movie reviews, so stay tuned for that, and maybe throw in a couple of Halloween-themed horror figures too, maybe, NECA or whatever. Just stay tuned for anything that comes my way, and just hit that bell icon, subscribe, do all that nifty typical stuff to stay tuned for more YouTube videos. So as always guys, hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, stay entertained.